Hello everyone. So my name is Pawan and today we'll be learning about what is corporate personality, advantages of a corporate personality, and then we'll be learning about two important cases which is considered as an important aspect of a corporate personality. In terms of an Indian case, we'll try to understand. So guys, in case if you've not watched my previous video about what is company, what is partnership, please do watch in the playlist. I'll also be putting at the last of this video. You can even find my playlist over there. But in this aspect, we'll be dealing more about what is corporate personality. So we'll also be teaching from exam centric view what are the points you just need to mention. All that I'll be covering in much more detail. All that you need to do is that just focus away and then you can take the screenshot of this notes also. That would be more than enough. So once you understand the concepts, you can put up your entire understanding in your own words. Now, let's get started. What do you mean by the term called as corporate personality? That means that the status of incorporation makes a company a separate legal person. Okay, there is something called as separate legal person. Okay, a company can be considered as separate legal person. I am different, my company is different. That's the reason we tell it as separate legal person. I am different, my company is different. Okay, whereas in the form of partnership, I can tell that I am same and the assets of my company are also the same. But in the form of a corporate personality, it is very important to understand that there is something called a separate legal entity. I am different, my company is different. We both are not the same. I am not held liable for all the losses of the company. Yes, I'll be held liable for the losses in terms of fraud, but other than that, I'm not held completely liable for the losses of the company. Very important. That's the reason we call as the status of an incorporation makes a company separate legal person. That's called a separate legal person. I hope you understood this. Now let's see what is the advantages of a corporate personality. First one, it is capable of being suing and being sued in its own name. That means that it has a company has a power to sue another person. Okay, it can sue another person as well as it has a capability of being sued. Okay, now if you observe, most of the company, whenever there's a case, they will not tell the members of the company's name. For example, if Pawan versus so and so company, Pawan versus Union of India, whereas in the case of a company, they will never mention a member's name. They will mention only the company's name. Okay, got it. Observe very carefully. So it could be so and so company versus and then so and so name. Okay, for example, Accenture versus so and so. Accenture Private Company Limited versus so and so. They will never mention company's member's name. They'll mention only the company's name. So it is being capable of being suing and being sued in its own name. Now, second important point is that it can hold property in its own name. Okay, very important concept which you need to keep in the mind is that it can hold property in its own name. Okay, a company can hold property in its own name, and in business company may make profits and losses. If it make losses, it will not be those of the members, remember. All right, very important. Now in business, the company will make profit as well as losses. The loss of the company belongs to the company, the profit of the company belongs to its own companies. Okay, so the shareholders is basically having a limited liability. Shareholders having a very limited liability. Now they can have their own bank account. Okay, a company can have its own bank account. Now it can enter into contracts with outsiders such as suppliers and consumers, customers. Okay, it can even enter into a contract, and it can be sued. This I've already covered. A company can survive the death of its members, perpetual succession. So if I am dead in a partnership company, my entire business will collapse. But in a company, what happens if I am dead? My next, for example, through the board of directors discretion, the next person can become the manager, the next person can continue. So there's something called as perpetual succession. Okay, for example, if the prime minister's office, if the prime minister is gone, the new prime minister will come. The office still remains the same, only the persons may change. Got it? The same philosophy logic applies over here. The company survives the death of its members, perpetual succession. Now, member need not take part in the management of the company, but it will be handled by a board of directors who are professional and elected by the members. So got it? Okay, the members need not take part in the management of the company, but it will be handled by the board of directors who are professional and are elected by the members. So it is basically being carried on by the board of directors as well as the official members. Now, members have only limited liability to the debts of the company. Very simple. So, members have only limited liability. What do they have? They have only limited liability and then of the debts of the company. Whereas in a partnership company, they get completely held liable even for the debts as well as in other factors. So here the members, it's very limited. So quickly, I'll just tell important points. Okay, they can have their own bank account, then they can have their own, they can be sued as well as they can even have the power to be sued. There's something called as perpetual succession, and then we learned about the board of directors and then members continuity. Then we learned about the limited liability in the partnership in the company, aspective. Then we learned about it can hold property in its own name, and yeah, these are the major important aspect. And all the losses is which the company is making, it is corporate personality it is making, it itself is basically liable. Now we will try to understand about corporate personality, two Indian cases. Okay. Now, first one is that, especially in the Condoli Tea and Co Ltd array company, what was the thing is that, there was a company. I'll give you an example. Okay, then I'll go explanation. There was a company in which the person in this company will transfer the estate in his own company's name. Okay, at that point of time, he will not pay tax, stating that this is my own company, and I'm transferring it to my own self. Then why should I pay tax? That time, government said that, the court said that you're supposed to pay taxes because there is a separate legal entity. Okay, so that's the same case over. That's Condoli Tea and Co Ltd. Ray case. It is about certain person transferred a TSA to a company and claimed exemption from the Valorum duty. That's a tax. Okay, on the grounds that they themselves were the shareholders of the company, and therefore it was a transfer to themselves under another name. The Calcutta High Court held that the company is a separate legal person, a separate body altogether from the shareholders, and exemption cannot be granted for the same. Very simple. Now, for any wrong done, the company must sue or can be sued in its own name. Okay, so very simple. So in case if I'm doing anything wrong, I can sue or I can be sued under its own name. Now, this is coming under the Rajendra Nath Datta versus the Shibendra Nath Mukherjee case. So, these are the important aspect. Just quickly summing up what all we learned. We learned about what is corporate personality, separate legal entity. Then we learned about its advantages, merits, and then we learned about two Indian cases. So that's all for today's video. If you do like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and do let me know your views in the comments so that I can post more videos. Take care, goodbye, and wish you all the best. Good luck.